Hello, we're back. Sorry about that. But it looks like we are off for lap 1. Plevs is on the inside of Avi. What a start he's gotten from P11 on the grid. He's up to P5 already, so something must have happened while I was gone. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry about that. He's gone down the inside of Avi. That's a dive from the Alpine, but it's worked very well for him. And he is up into P4 now, so great stuff from him. Let's see if I can get tyres up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, we're back. So Ayrton leads from Amir. It's just teetering over the 1 second barrier for the Red Bull. Can he stay within range of that AlphaTauri? It's going to be very, very hard. And it's already just about out of that DRS range. So he's going to be vulnerable to the Haas of ESRL. And as Ayrton looks like he's going to be checking out now. But we won't be focusing on him. If he is that far away, we're going to be focused on these battles at the back. Wills Taravillo right behind Aces versus Kings now. Let me get chat sorted. Okay. So a lot of cars right within 1 second of each other. Aces and Avi are sort of flicking between 1 second of each other. I don't know if Aces is going to be able to stay with him. We've got yellow flags in sector 1. Is that Scott round again? It is, unfortunately. So Scott all the way down to P15 now, and he's going to let Zuba through perhaps. No, they're still side by side, but now Zuba goes through. So Scott, he's on a new wheel. It's going to take him a while to get used to it, but I promise you, Scott, it's worth it. Much more fun on a wheel. But anyways, back to the battles. Patty Pat is right behind Neil. I'm not sure he's going to make a move. No, he's not. He's going to stick behind Womax as well, trying to find a way through Major. All these guys on the mediums trying to get a way through. Almost so close. Keep it up. Pronunciation right. I'm trying my best. But Major nearly goes into the back of Racing Wheel as they come through there, as the Ferrari goes wide as well. So Major needs to find a way through, but the Ferrari's very slow and it's costing the Alfa Romeo time here. Be careful, Major. Don't go in the back of him. DRS is enabled. At the end of this lap, Major nearly slides the car into the wall, but manages to save it. It's a good save from him. Zuba gets past Ted as well, back behind, as Ted gets a 10-second time penalty for track limits. Must have been a spin, unfortunately, for him. Major still trying to find a way through this Ferrari. It's costing him so much time to be stuck behind him, but he can't find a way through. There's just nothing he can do at the moment, but I'm going to concentrate on Plevs. Is that Aces round? It is at the S's. The Mercedes is going to drop all the way down the grid like a stone, but here comes Plevs, the Alpine just behind ESRL in the Haas. Major finally gets past Racing Wheel. Down at the back, ESRL has a lock-up and Plevs down the inside. But who's going to get the DRS? It's going to be Plevs. Does ESRL have it? No, he doesn't. So Plevs is going to blitz his way past onto the podium positions from P11 on the grid. What a fantastic start from Plevs. I'm so sorry I didn't manage to catch it because of the lobby issue, but Alpine into P3 and now chasing after the reigning champion in Amir, with ESRL still right behind Avi now. Looks like Avi took advantage of the battle between Plevs and the Haas, and he's made it through into P4, the Red Bull. The Haas still trying to get through. Wills Taravillo had a bad start as well in the AlphaTauri. He's down to P6 and a long way off this chase pack. Ayrton sets the fastest lap to no surprise with a 36.0, but here comes the Haas. Can he find a way through? He's got the DRS. No, he's going to leave it. Racing Wheel and Womax having a little battle. Racing Wheel stays ahead for now. It is, of course, AlphaTauri that lead the constructors at the moment by 1 point over Red Bull. At the moment, I believe Red Bull would take the lead. It's hard to say with the ESRL point system. I'd have to use maths to work it out while commentating, and that's never a good idea. But Womax still trying to find a way through this Ferrari. He's got the same problem that Major De Sola had a while before, as in fact the Alfa Romeo is into the pits as I say that, so he took damage from somewhere, I'm not sure where. but he's onto the soft, so not the ideal start for the German in the Alfa Romeo. Here comes Womack's ESRL and Avi having a battle as well. ESRL gets past with the DRS. Very simple move for the Haas. He locks up, but I don't think Avi's going to be able to take advantage. They're both losing time to Plevs. Patty Pat past Neil as well. Is Womack's going to finally get past this Ferrari? He's sticking to the outside. The Ferrari defends. Womack's nearly goes into the back of him. Manages to stop the car just in time. He still can't get through as it stands. Avi right behind this Haas as well, trying to keep up. He goes very wide through there. The tyre wear clearly causing issues at the moment. Ayrton sets another fastest lap, 35.9. The gap is already up to 3 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to be catching him today. Avi, he's still just about within DRS range, but he's losing time to the Haas and he brakes very late. That's not going to help at all. Very, very deep into turn 1, and now he's out of that 1 second. Can he get back into it? Womack still trying to find a way through this Ferrari. As he brakes, brakes at the right time, but the Ferrari braked so early and Womack's nearly into the back of him. He's got to be careful, but he's also got to get past. And it's always tricky when there's a car so much slower than you ahead, but just there's no way through. You always get a bad exit out of the place where you can overtake. And here as well, there's just no way through for the Williams at the moment. Avi is out of that 1 second range, so he's not going to have DRS on the big straight. Here comes Womack. Can he find a way through? Not at the moment. He breaks into the corner. Tries to get a good switch back, but ends up going in the back of the Ferrari. Hopefully he doesn't have damage. Here he comes now with the DRS. Aces is past Neil as well. Looks like he's made that move stick, but I'm going to keep an eye on Womack around the outside of the Ferrari. Can he make the move? There's contact as the Ferrari locks up, and Womack doesn't turn in as much as he thought he was going to. There's no visible damage to the Williams, but I'm not sure. There might be internal damage we can't see. And Womack's still trying to find a way past. He's getting very frustrated by this Ferrari now as they go through the final sector. Can he find a way through here? I'm going to ride on board again. Round they come. He's going to have the outside. He's going to try and switch back again, but the Ferrari covers him off. Womack round to the outside. Racing Wheel goes in deep, but he can't keep the Williams behind. And finally Womack gets his way through as Aces comes into the pits for a set of medium tyres. Womack's going to be very relieved to be rid of that Ferrari. And I mean, look how much time he's lost. 7 seconds to anyone else on track. Major de Sola sets the fastest lap on those fresh softs. As Patty Pat gets past his teammate. There must have been a mistake from Lostock, because he's well behind Patty Pat now. Looks like there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. I think that was Ted. Two McLaren's not having the best day, but as I said, we can forgive Scott for his new wheel sort of teething issues, as it were. Ted gets himself a 3-second time penalty. As Rils Taravillo still just behind Avi. Avi's definitely dropped off to ESRL, but not too much. It's 1.5, 1.6 is the gap. Scott gets himself a 3-second time penalty and retires at the S's, the same place. Is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. So the field is neutralized. Ayrton's lead of 6 seconds is wiped out. And he's also gone just past the pit lane. Has he been able to get past the safety car? Yes, he has. So that's a big advantage for the AlphaTauri. Just about managed to be ahead of the safety car, so he can go another lap without being too slow, but he's still going to lose a lot of time in the pits. And I think we might see Scott in chat very soon, but gutted for you, mate. But as I said, new wheel teething issues, you know, it'll come. It'll come. I promise you. A lot of cars in the pits. Patty Pat has really benefited. He stayed out on those mediums that he started the race with, so he's up into P4 now. He's going to be catching up to those guys on the softs. If those guys on the softs pit, is Patty Pat going to be able to get past them? I think he may get past Amir and Plevs, but it will be close. He definitely won't get past Ayrton. But yeah, it'll be very close. I don't think he will. I think the safety car delta is just enough. But I'll have to find out. Here is the Aston Martin. So 17.9 seconds. It will be close. It will be close, but I don't think there's enough time. I think he'll stay P4. Is Amir going to dive in? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Plevs comes in with him as well. The Alpine following the Red Bull in, and both of them just about getting in time for the line. Ayrton onto the mediums, as is everyone else. Plevs onto the mediums. Amir onto the mediums as well. So everyone going the mediums except Major, who's gone for the hard. So he's gone for something different to try and take advantage. Is Patty Pat going to come out ahead of the two, Amir and Plevs? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. He's out ahead of Plevs, and just about in front of Amir as well. So Patty Pat does get himself into P2, and that is a car between Ayrton and Amir, which is going to make it all the harder for the Red Bull to stay in touch with the AlphaTauri, as it were. That's at the moment, AlphaTauri are going to extend their championship lead, but not by very much. There's Taravillo right behind Avi, and Amir is going to try and keep tabs with Ayrton, but it's going to be so tricky with a car between them as well. While we've got a safety car, I'm just going to post this new link in the chat. There we go. Oh, Rick, you're the only one here. You're all alone. So, I'll wait for the cars to come around. I think the safety car will be out another lap, so it should come in on lap 9, because still got to wait for the McLaren of Ted to catch back up. And he gets a 3-second time penalty under the safety car, which is not what you want. Penalties, he's on 21 seconds of penalties. He did get a 10-second penalty, to be fair, which I'm going to assume was from a spin. But it's really not helped him, put it that way. So the safety car will stay out one more lap. And we should be back to racing. Major De Sola is one to watch. He's going to be going to the end on those hards. Aces versus Kings comes into the pits for some reason. He must have taken damage or something. So that's very unfortunate for the Mercedes. He's going to drop all the way to the back of the grid. But yeah, Major De Sola, he's on the hards. He's going to be trying to go to the end. I think he will get to the end. But personally, I think that's the right call. Based on my experience of this track, I think he's made a good call there. As long as he doesn't get taken out, of course. And he is behind Racing Wheel, which could end up being problematic for him. Because we've already seen a lot of cars struggle to get past that Ferrari today. Aces gets himself a 3-second time penalty under the safety car as well. Not ideal. There's 2 cars that have done that now. How's my day been? It's been a day. I haven't done anything particularly interesting or consequential. most of the evening has been spent sort of frustrated and stressed about Tier 1 in APPF1, not here. But looks like we've got a very nice grid today for ESRL again, which is good. Nice and boring, the perfect day. Oh yeah, it's always good. It's my first day off work. Yesterday was really good. It was my mum's birthday, so we went, had a nice lunch in town when I finished my half day at work, and then went to a very posh restaurant in the evening to celebrate my mum's birthday. It was very, very posh, trust me. But anyway, back to ESRL. I hit the wall a few times, I did, yes. But I was more frustrated about the driving, the number of drivers we had. But anyway, Ayrton is off. He's gone very early. I think he's caught Patty Pat out there. He's certainly caught Amir out, who's under huge pressure from Plevs in the Alpine now as they come towards turn 1. Is the Alpine going to make a move? He's got the slipstream. Amir goes to defend. Here comes the Alpine. He's going to go round the outside into turn 1. He's going to do the switchback. Perfect switchback from the Alpine. Into P3 he goes. Great move from Plevs. And Amir has nothing to say to that. Patty Pat has extended a bit of a advantage to third place in that little kerfuffle, but it's not going to last very long. He's lost so much time to Ayrton already. Ayrton is gone already. But yeah, Plev's going to be looking to get past the Aston Martin as soon as he can. Zuber gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunate for him on those fresh softs. But anyway, here comes Plevs. Is he going to get past the Aston Martin? Wills Taravillo gets past Avi, by the way, who must have made a mistake. He's lost a lot of time. But here comes Plevs down the inside of the Aston Martin. Is Patty Pat going to fight back? No, he's not. He brakes early. That's the Alpine through. He knows it's not his race to keep these guys behind, so he's not going to put up too much of a fight, which is good to see. Neil gets past Lostock. For now, Lostock has a little look, but not enough to get past at that particular corner. Very difficult corner to overtake on. Amir and Patty Pat going to go side by side here. Amir backs out of that one just about, but is he going to go for the move into the next corner? No, he's not yet, but he's losing a lot of time to Plevs, and he knows it. He has to get past this Aston Martin as soon as he can. What kind of British thing is posh? Look it up. But anyway, Zuber gets past Lostock further back, but I'm going to keep an eye on this as Amir's still trying to get past this Aston Martin of Patty Pat. Turns in a little bit too early for turn 1, which loses him a bit of time in the Red Bull. And of course he's got the Haas of Eid Apple behind as well. Wills Taravillo and Avi all within a second of each other. It's the Patty Pat train at the moment. Plevs is well clear. He's very happy in P2 at the moment. He's not catching Ayrton, but he's also gaining a lot of time on these guys. Major gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That's not what he wanted. But anyway, here comes Amir down the inside of Patty Pat. Not too much of a fight put up by the Aston Martin, and the Red Bull is through as Wills Taravillo gets past Avi. Avi had a go, I think, but Wills managed to keep the position. Is the Haas of Eid Apple going to get past Amir as well? The Dutchman can't quite make a move. Is he going to go for it? He goes for it. He has a look, but he's not going to make it. Here comes Avi down the inside of Wills Taravillo. He might have hit the back of Eid Apple there, but he does get past the Alpha Tauri in the end, which is big for the constructors' battle between Alpha Tauri and Red Bull. I think that might be the battle to watch in terms of the championship this season, but Neil has retired, and that's another safety car. That's the Ferrari into the wall. There he is. There's the stricken Ferrari. So just lost the grip on the exit of that corner. Very, very easy to do with the camber, as I said before. And he leaves the session, so unfortunate for him. Also unfortunate for Major De Sola, but very fortunate for Patty Pat, who I was going to say is going to come into the pits, but he hasn't come into the pits. He stayed out, so obviously he's got a different strategy in mind. Major is into the pits on those hards, so what's he going to put on? It should be, I reckon, a set of mediums. Yeah, there it is. So mediums go on the Alfa Romeo. He's out again, still near the back of the pack, which is not where you really... We're not used to seeing Major at the back. He's a very quick, very competent driver. On elite settings, I'd say he's sort of on the level of your Avis and your Amirs on a good day. Certainly your Wills Taravillos. So it's an odd one. Maybe he doesn't like USA. Maybe it's just not gone his way today so far. Could be a mix of the two. But he finds himself in P13, hoping to get his way up the grid before the end of this race. We're not even halfway through yet, so there's plenty of time. But yeah, not the most ideal start for him. Aces has gone onto the hards. Maybe he remembers our race around the USA in that fateful day in APP F1. Zuber gets past Racing Wheel, which is interesting. Not quite sure what's happening there. It's very odd. The Ferrari is for some reason battling with the Alpine under the safety car, as Zuber finally lets him by. Yeah, that's an odd one. Perfect time to explain what posh means. Okay, so... Okay, Racing Wheel is now trying to let Zuber through. So obviously the game has told him to let him through. Odd, very odd one. Anyways, so the Queen is posh, like a place rich people go to, or something rich people do. And that kind of deal. We've got a pit stop from Womack in the Williams, so he's gonna drop to the back. What tyres is he going to put on? Is he going to go for the hards or the mediums? I don't know if are those guys on the mediums going to go to the end. If they do go to the end, they're going to struggle towards the end of the race. They really are. The hard tyres are going to be much, much better towards the end. Womack does indeed go onto the hards. I think that's the right call at this point in the race. So yeah, a posh restaurant is like one where everything is really expensive and all the stuff on the menu has really pretentious names. It's like instead of, I don't know, fish and chips, it's smoked haddock in premium batter. Ia Rappel has gone for a spin under the safety car. Sorry to interrupt myself there, but he is going to drop all the way to the back in that Haas. The Dutchman. He's done a George Russell. I'm not sure how that's happened. If there was contact, there would surely be a penalty. So I think he's just done a George Russell and dropped it under the safety car. Luckily he can catch back up, but yeah, not what he would have wanted at all. But yeah, anyway, you get the idea. It's like, instead of fish and chips, it's smoked haddock in premium breadcrumb batter. With sea salt and malt vinegar, and I can't think of a posh way to describe chips, but you get the idea. Anyways, safety car's coming in the slaps, so that means, as Sumo would say in his absence, Ayrton becomes the effective safety car in the AlphaTauri. He's going to lead the pack. Is he going to go as early as he did last time? Plebs is really getting those revs going in that Alpine. I think that's something to do with the safety car limiter that Codemasters, for some mystical reason, reintroduced into the game. Cooked potatoes, there you go. But Ayrton's gone, he's gone again. He's gone at the same point he did last time, and he has caught them out yet again. Patty Pat is just behind. Is he going to be able to take advantage? No. Is Avi going to be able to take advantage? It doesn't look like it. So everyone's still filing through single file at the moment. Zuber is the closest gap at the moment to Lostock. Womack gets past Ted, and Major Sassola trying to find a way past Aces, who is also trying to find a way past Racing Wheel. Major down the inside of both of them. What a move from the Alfa Romeo. Lovely opportunistic stuff. He's into P9 and looking to chase after the rest of the pack now. Zuber still trying to find a way through Lostock. He's just behind. I think he's clearly the faster car in that Alpine, at least at the moment. Maybe Lostock's tyres are struggling. He does have those tyres are 5 laps older than Zuba's. So the Alpine is going to want to get past him. Is he going to go for a send down the inside? No, he's a bit more sensible than that. But Lostock goes very deep in defence. And that's going to give Zuba a good run on the exit. Avi is just behind Patty Pat as well. I'll keep an eye on both battles if I can. Aces versus Kings trying to get past Racing Wheel. I think he will do. Is Avi going to send it on the Aston Martin? No, he's not. What about Zuba on the other Aston Martin? He's going to try the switcheroo, but he can't get it to work at that particular corner. Aces finds his way past Racing Wheel. Does he? They're still side by side. The Ferrari's gone for a spin. Too much throttle on the exit, as well as a bit of contact. And the Ferrari is right to the back of the grid now. But that'll be music to the ears of all the cars behind him. As Wills Taravillo also looking for a way through Avi, who's struggling to get past Patty Pat at the moment, who locks up to the final corner, but just nothing that the Red Bull can do. He's using overtake. Yellow flags in Sector 3, that's Racing Wheel, but here comes Avi down the inside of the Aston Martin. Why does it switch to this view in dynamic? It's such a shit view. But anyway, Patty Pat has been passed by the Red Bull, and Avi into P4. So Rils Taravillo now needs to find a way through the Aston as soon as he can. Zuba still trying to find a way through Lostock as well. 2 Aston Martins holding drivers up at the moment. As the closest gap, it's still Rils and Majors trying to get past Zuba as well. Can he find a way through with these two in front of him battling? He breaks late, goes round the outside of the Alpine. Zuba leaves him just enough room. Racing Wheel has retired in the pits, so he won't be continuing. Here comes Zuba on Lostock. Major couldn't take advantage, but Lostock's using the overtake, so Zuba's struggling. Is Major going to take advantage? He's just going to watch and see what happens. Here comes the Aston Martin. He brakes very late. Major tries to do a switcheroo, but it doesn't quite work. Zuba covers him off, but the Aston Martin stays ahead for now. Can he go for again as Zuba goes deep? No, he can't. So still just a struggle for these guys to get past each other without the DRS. Yellow flags. Oh, that's just Racing Wheel's car. But anyways, these three still really battling hard. Rils Taravillo can't find a way through Patty Pat yet. DRS now enabled as they come across the line, but Rils isn't going to have it. And he's very slow out of the final corner. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's going to give Lostock a run. It could give Zuba a run as well. Round the outside they go. Rils Taravillo brakes and has a bit of a slide under the braking as well. I think something's happened to Rils' controller. He's Lostock into the back of him. That's going to end up in the stewards, I think. Rils Taravillo, I think it must be a technical issue with the AlphaTauri, but he drops all the way to the back thanks to that. Major De Sola and of course Lostock, who didn't deserve that at all. He was driving well up until that point, doing well to keep Zuba behind, but now Major is free to try and get past the Alpine. He's going to go for the switchback. He's going to have the DRS. I can't see Zuba defending this. Here comes the Alfa Romeo. Zuba with no way to defend, and he's not even using overtake. He knows he knows not to delay the inevitable as Major. Very simple move on the straight and ahead well before the corner. As Aces goes for a move as well on the Alpine, tries to take advantage. Round he goes, round the outside of this corner here. You've got to be so careful not to lose it on the exit. And Aces does get past Womax as well down the inside of Apple. That's a really good camera shot. Apple goes back around the outside though, and Womax has nothing to say about that. What a great exit from the corner from Apple. Great battling from these guys at the moment. It's just a shame what happened to Rils Taravillo and Lostock. Rils is still in this battle. Maybe he fixed his technical issue, but anyways, here comes Zuba on the back of Aces. Major as well, trying to get past Patty Pat is his next target. In the Alfa Romeo, Patty Pat breaks early, and Zuba down the inside of Aces. Can he make the move? Yes, he can, but Aces is going to have a good run on the exit on those hard tyres, and down the inside he goes, and Zuba can't stick it round. So Aces keeps the position for now. Major De Sola trying to get through as well. Ayrton is not gaining time rather on Plebs at the moment, which is not what I expected. 2.8 seconds is the gap. So Plebs is sticking with him as much as he can. Elapple gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That was more like Elapple that time. I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, Major De Sola, he's going to have the DRS. This should be very simple. And it is well before the corner. And there we go. That's much better. Major into the top 5. I'd say where he belongs. After a really good restart off that safety car. But anyway, here comes Elapple on Zuba. Zuba brakes late and locks up into the corner. But no advantage to be taken from the Haas. So all aboard the Patty Pat train again. Not for the first time in this race. He's currently running well in P6, but he's got 16 lap old medium tyres. Surely he has to pit soon. He's clearly going for the medium softs. He's going to go for the soft to the end, but how long are those going to last? How long until he has to come in is the question. But Major has built up a gap already as Aces goes very deep into turn 1. Doesn't give Zuba an opportunity, but no issues at the moment for either of them. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. So Ace is on 6 seconds, so he's going to lose out to all of these guys. Major also on 3 seconds, so he needs to build a gap. And then Zuba, Irapple, Wills, all on 3 seconds. So Wumax could come into play here as well if he manages to keep up with this train. Zuba now, Ace is now trying to find a way through Patty Pat. He's going to have the DRS, nothing to defend with for the Aston Martin, and that's a very simple move. Is Zuba going to take advantage as well? It could be a double overtake or a double loss of positions for Patty Pat. Zuba down the inside. Ace is very, very deep. But yeah, Patty Pat with nothing to say to Zuba as Irapple tries to find a way through as well. Nearly goes into the back of the Aston Martin. Manages to keep it out. Wills Taravillo trying to find a way through as well. I'm sure Lostock is going to report what happened earlier for Wills brake checking him, but that's not what Wills does. It must have been a technical issue. But anyway, round the outside, he nearly goes for it down the inside into the penultimate corner, but doesn't quite. Irapple gets himself 3-second time penalty, which could be crucial. That's 6 seconds he's got now. Patty Pat finally into the pits, so he's going to be putting on to the softs to the end of this race. Zuba still just behind Aces, but no way through at the moment. So it's changed from the Patty Pat train to the Aces train. Patty Pat indeed out on the soft, so looking for fastest lap he's going to be as well. And I take it all back about Plevs keeping up with Ayrton. That gap has increased a second since I said that, so maybe Ayrton was just taking it easy and decided to push when he heard me say that. Zuba gets himself another 3-second time penalty, so he's up to 6 seconds as well. This could be the Track Limits Grand Prix at the moment, as Wills Taravillo is the biggest gainer on penalties as it stands, but of course Major could lose out if he catches up to the rest of them as well. Ted goes for a spin in Sector 2. Patty Pat needs to watch out. And remember, ghosting is off, mate, and he does go past in the end. As Irapple gets past Zuba around the outside of the corner after the straight. I'm sorry, I was trying to see what happened to Ted, but must have been a good move from Irapple, because it wasn't too... it didn't look like he was ahead before the corner. It did look like a sort of late braking maneuver, but good stuff from the Haas. Demote Zuba down to P8 for now, and Wills Taravillo still trying to see if these guys are going to make mistakes. And yet again, I think there's just technical issues with Wills at the moment. I don't know what's happening to him. He's into the pits. I think he's going to end up retiring because there's definitely something technical going on. But anyway, here comes Zuba down the inside of the Haas. He's going to go up to the apex, and he does make it before the corner, but they're still side by side as they come into the S's. Are they going to make contact? They're still side by side as they come through the S's, but it looks like Zuba is just about gotten ahead. Irapple eventually backs out, but great battle between these two. Lostock, a 3-second time penalty at the back. as Patty Pat gets past Wills, who's come out the pits. Hasn't retired after all. Is that Aces who's gone for a spin? It is. That's his second spin, and Womack straight into him as he comes back onto the track. Severe collision, 5 seconds for Aces. And that's such a shame for Womack, who was doing nothing wrong, but I don't think there was anything he could really do to avoid that. Just a T-bone. But anyway, ESRL cut back to the battle between these two. Zuber and ESRL really putting on a show for us at the moment. Trying to go around the outside is the Haas, but Zuber covers them off very well. And no way through for now. The two Red Bulls also close to each other at the front. P3 and 4 at the moment. They're both running extremely well. Way ahead of Major and the rest. But these two is the battle to watch at the moment. Unless the two Red Bulls get closer. I'll try and keep an eye on both. But not too much else happening at the moment. Ayrton has extended his gap to 5.5 seconds now, as Amir is a further 6 seconds behind. So the final spot, the podium, could still be up for grabs between the two Red Bulls. The two previous championship rivals, they've had some absolutely fantastic battles in ESRL in the past, and of course teammates now. But is there going to be any love lost between them? Wills has left the session now. So yeah, but unsurprising. Major gets himself another time penalty. That could be huge, actually. If he gets any more, then Zuber could be in with a shout of P5 if he gets a move on. But Major does seem like the faster car. Here comes ESRL. Avi couldn't get past his teammate. Can the Haas do any better against the Alpine? He's got the DRS. No overtake used at all, but look at that closing speed as he goes for the switcheroo, but Zuber again covers it off fantastically. It's fantastic stuff between these two. Ayrton comes into the pits for what I reckon is a scheduled stop. He's going to be onto the softs. So is Plebs going to try and hang this out? Ayrton is indeed onto the softs. He's going to come out behind the two Red Bulls, who are going to do everything they can to keep him behind. Are they going to stay out? Are they going to try and see if they can beat Ayrton to the line? Aces has retired from the session. Unfortunately, that's at the penultimate corner, and that's a safety car. Perfect for Ayrton. He's come in just at the right time there. Patty Pat's also going to come in. There's Ace's stricken car into the wall. So he's unfortunately not going to finish this race. But now, what are these guys going to do? Plebs, Amir and Avi have a huge decision to make. Do they stay out or do they come in for the softs for a final sprint to the end? If they all come in, Ayrton wins the race. But the problem is, what they don't know is, if they don't come in, does Ayrton still win the race? Because Ayrton's not going to be far behind. He's going to be right next to them now. He doesn't have to catch up. But he is going to lose a couple of laps to the safety car, because there's some cars that are very, very far behind. The safety car is going to be out quite a while. It could be a couple of laps or even 3 laps. Avi nearly goes for a spin under the safety car. But here we go. Plebs is into the pits, so he does come in and nearly manages to hit the wall on entry, in fact. Amir is in. Avi follows him, so a double stack for the Red Bulls. They've both decided to go for the soft, so no alternate strategy there, which means Ayrton is probably going to win this race. Major also in. Zuber also into the pits. ESRL follows him in as well. A fairly late call from the Haas, but not illegal. He did come over the dotted line, at least in my view. So that's probably going to mean every car is going to be into the pits Apple comes out just behind Zuber still, so these two are going to be still right at it at the safety car restart. Both on the softs. Do they have the same number of penalties? Yes, they do, both with 6 seconds, so good stuff. This is going to be between those two, but Patty Pat could be the big winner here, because all of the 3 cars in front of him have 6 seconds of penalties. Safety car's going to come in. And there's only going to be, what, 4 or 5 laps to go? Can they extend 6 seconds to Patty Pat in 4 or 5 laps? Really not sure. I'm really not sure. It's going to be close. I think Major could do it, but I don't think Zuber and Ed Apple could do it. Will do it, especially if they're battling. So Patty Pat going to be the big gainer here. And Womack will be glad to be back in the race as well, of course. Ted's gone into the mediums, which is fascinating. Maybe he didn't have any softs left, but I guess he has had quite a few spins, so maybe he has pitted more times than I think. Does it show pit stops? Yes, it does. Stops. He's had 3 stops, so he should still have a set of softs. So I'm not quite sure what the Northern Irishman is thinking. But, maybe he just wants to get to the end. Wants to go on the medium so he doesn't push too much. Stock is catching up now, but the safety car is going to be out 1 more lap. It's going to be interesting to see if Plevs puts any pressure on Ayrton as well at the restart. Of course, they're not going to have DRS until, well, if it comes in this lap, which it should. That means 25, 26. They're not going to have DRS until lap 27. They'll only have 2 laps of DRS at the end of this race. 2 Red Bulls in a very favourable position, but I'm sure they would have preferred for the safety car not to come out, because they were riding pretty strong, and they could have gone on to a different strategy. They could have stuck out the mediums, tried to see if they could keep Ayrton behind. Maybe Plevs could have won the race, but safety car came out, and it has changed the whole complexion of this race at the front. Just noticed, by the way, last week I had 73 subs. Now I have 70. Plus 3 subscribers. It's probably because well, it's no loss really, because it's people who have been annoyed by all of their notifications of me streaming lately, because I stream, I'm streaming ESRL races every week now. So people have been irritated by those constant notifications and thought, oh, I don't watch this guy, why am I even subbed to him? I'm just going to unsubscribe. But anyway, the safety car's in. So Ayrton again becomes the effective safety car. Is he going to go at the same time again? It won't catch these guys out a 3rd time. So he'll be thinking, what can I do to try and fool these cars behind? Plevs is, you know, he's right behind. He knows where Ayrton went last time, and Ayrton is indeed... Oh, that's fantastic from Ayrton. What a brilliant restart. That's very, very clever. Looked like he wasn't going to go, and then immediately went as soon as Plevs realised that he wasn't going. That's very, very clever safety car restart from Ayrton, but here comes Ed Apple down the inside of Zuber. Their battle goes on, even past the safety car. Patty Pat has got a good few behind of it, as Zuber and Ed Apple go side by side through the S's once again. It's tit for tat. They're still side by side as they come through. Zuber on the inside of the next corner, and he takes the position. I think he would have got a track limits warning for his troubles, but he keeps P6 for now. Lostock gets past Ted at the back as well. Plevs already nearly a second behind Ayrton, and Amir already over nearly 2 seconds behind Plevs. So they've lost a huge amount of time, the two Red Bulls, to the top two, who are clearly in leagues of their own. Zuber still just in front of Apple. Is the Haas going to make another attempt into this next corner? Avi is still just behind his teammate as well. Plevs is within a second of Ayrton, but this is the battle at the moment. These two still at it, Apple and Zuber, but Apple can't find a way through at the moment. He's going to try and stick behind, but they've got Patty Pat and Wumax to worry about because neither of them have penalties, and that could drop these two right back. Major as well, he's got to push because he could drop all the way down to P7 if he's not careful, maybe even P8 if he doesn't pull away enough. He's got 6 seconds to pull, and maybe the pushing is going to make him get another penalty. It can happen. Plev sets the fastest lap, so he's staying with Ayrton. We could have a battle for the lead in the last few laps. DRS gets turned on the next lap, so they're not going to have it at the moment. So Plevs have just got to drive as best as he can to try and stick with the AlphaTauri. Zuber locks up into turn 1. No way through for Apple at the moment, though. Patty Pat still sticking with them, as Avi is maybe looking for a way through his teammate as well. I don't know if they're in a call, if they're going to sort of agree not to race each other, because they don't need to. They just, at the moment, they just want to secure constructors' points. It's still early in the season, but every point counts. You could say if it's early in the season, it's even more important, because if you get a good start, it really sets you off really well for the rest of the season. But Plevs is sticking with Ayrton. We could have a battle for the lead in our final few laps as DRS gets turned on. This is really good driving from Plevs to keep with the AlphaTauri, who looked like he was going to absolutely run away with this race. No problems at all. But Plevs thinks otherwise. He's sticking with him. 7/10 is the gap. He's going to have DRS as long as he can maintain that gap up towards the long straight on lap 27. He's not going to get it this lap, of course, because the DRS detection is well before the line. Apple still just behind Zuber as well. Two battles to keep an eye on. Patty Pat as well, trying to find a way through. He doesn't need to. He's got those penalties to serve him as well. But Major isn't. He's not pulling enough of a gap to not lose a position to Patty Pat. Patty Pat could easily find himself in the top 5 come the end of this race, but as they come through the end of Sector 1, Plevs still within a second of the AlphaTauri of Ayrton. But Ayrton's got 80% ERS to Plevs 25. So I still have to back Ayrton here. He's saved his ERS. He's clearly been not pushing as hard as he could push, possibly. Plevs has got the DRS, but it's not going to be enough to catch the AlphaTauri at all, because he's going to use all of the battery that he's got. But still, look at that closing speed, within 5/10 at the corner. And I think Plevs is going to find this very difficult with that ERS difference. Apple past Zuber, and Patty Pat looking for a way through as well. Down the inside of the Alpine. Zuber could lose 2 positions in one corner, but he doesn't quite. Patty Pat, again, doesn't need to get through. But he wants to race. He always wants to race. And if he can get through, he's going to want to, even if he knows he doesn't need to. But Major is still not pulling the 6 seconds he needs. Avi still just behind his teammate. Is he going to go for it? No, not at the moment, but he is using the overtake, so I think they are racing the two Red Bulls. So we could have a battle between them as Avi nearly goes into the back of his teammate there. Be careful, guys. Don't take each other out on the last lap. Patty Pat does get past Zuber with the DRS, but Zuber down the inside. Very nice battling between these two. Patty Pat side by side with the Alpine, and I think Zuber's going to have to concede that one. He does indeed. So Patty Pat into P7, but by the end of the race, he's going to be in the top 5, and he's going to be absolutely delighted with that. because Major de Sola is not pulling enough of a gap, and in fact, in pushing, he nearly spins the car in pushing to try and extend those 6 seconds and loses even more time. So Major definitely going to drop out the top 5 here as it stands. Plevs is not close enough to Ayrton. He loses the DRS in the end. The 2 Red Bulls are going to battle to the end. Is Avi going to make a move on his teammate on the final lap? No, he's not. For the podium, Amir's going to keep it for now, but Avi round the outside. They're still battling, the 2 Red Bulls. Zuba and Patty Pat battling behind as well, but this is the fight for the podium. Can Amir hold on? Avi's still trying to get through, brakes very late, but there's no way through there. And I think Amir is going to hold on to this podium position, but let's ride on board with Ayrton for the final few corners. Faultless race from the AlphaTauri. Arguably got lucky with the final safety car, but he does win the race, and he probably would have done on those softs anyway. Those fresh softs are so fast compared to those old mediums. Major comes home P5 for now, but is it going to last? It looks like Patty Pat and Zuba lost a lot of time battling, but he does get P5, the Aston Martin, by 5/10 over Major, and I think that mistake in Sector 1 or the start of Sector 2 may have cost Major that top 5 finish in the end. But great racing at the end of a really great race to watch, and I really need a drink as soon as this stream is over. Plevs gets driver of the day, I think deservedly so, P11 on the grid. Comes back to P2 and nearly manages to stay with the Dane, who is leading this championship by a landslide now. I think he got fastest lap as well, so that's going to be another point. Yeah, it's looking like NER Ayrton is the man to beat this season. So there we go, there are our final standings. Plevs got the fastest lap in the end, so the Australian will take the extra point. But it is the Dane of NER Ayrton who wins the race, his second race in a row this season. 2 for 2 for him. Plevs in P2. Amir takes the podium just about from his teammate at the end, who had a great battle in the end, the 2 Red Bulls, but they will take the lead of the constructors. Patty Pat in P5, what a result for him. Major, the German, in the Alfa Romeo P6. Eat Apple in P7 for Haas. Wumax P8, Zuba P9, Lostock, Ted, Wills Taravillo did not finish the race, and neither did Aces, Racing Wheel, or Neil 1997. So that will be that for race 2 of Tier 1 Season 2 in ESRL. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed commentating. It's a shame Sumo couldn't be here today, but I hope I didn't do too badly on my own in his absence. But thank you for watching. Whether you're watching live, like Rick, who's I'm assuming is the one person left, or if you're watching retrospectively. Thank you everyone. This was good fun, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.